Tavis from Incidental Audio. Every person we have over here to record, we're going to do a type of interview with them just so you can get to know them a little bit better. My good friend here, Josh Wolf, has the unfortunate, or fortunate, I don't know which one yet, circumstance of being the very first person to record. Thanks so much for coming in and recording, Josh. I really appreciate it. So we just finished recording his very first song, which is called
Always.
Stick
with that.
It was up in the air a little bit. We didn't know. So tell me a little bit about the song, and if you can, just a little bit about the process of us kind of recording the song when you got over here and what you went through to kind of arrive at where we arrived at.
All right. So, I don't know. Like, this song kind of came in fits and starts, probably. I don't know. Probably, like, first wrote it, like, back, like, the initial riff, basically back in, like, 2019, I guess. And the lyrics kind of came here and there.
I have that happen a lot, where I write a lot of riffs, and a lot of them don't necessarily turn into songs.
Yeah.
But it sounds like this one did.
Yeah. So, actually, kind of like what the, I guess you call the bridge or the breakdown is, was originally, like, the chorus riff.
Right. Well, sometimes it happens like that.
But and it was a little bit different, but like the vocals and everything, but like kind of like what it morphed into now, like once we collaborated, right, is shorter, number one.
It definitely was shorter. So like the original length of the song when you came over was about how long you think it was?
I don't know, it was probably like at least 4 minutes, maybe.
Oh,
3 to 4.
4 minutes? I think it was more like, I thought it was like 6. 4 minutes seems like so long to me though, that anything that's over like 2.5 seems like an eternity. So yeah, Josh came over and we
But it was fun to tighten it down.
And we jammed on that. So we probably rocked, the first night you came over, he's been over here 2 days now. The first night we just rocked it out. I was playing drums and Josh was playing guitar and singing, and we were really trying to figure out what the structure of the song was. Like you said, it was a lot longer, and I think at one point we kind of created was that bridge there before? I don't remember, or did we just
Well, what happened was like when you were talking about collaborating, I was like, okay, well, I have this song that, I don't know, like I wanted to do something with.
And we
so
went
like
through a few, yeah.
I took that opening riff and kind of, I don't know, I was messing around and kind of came upon like what it is now, basically. And then I came up with that kind of
the hook.
almost like on the fly when I was doing that. And I was like, well, and then I kind of like took the lyrics and like reworked it a little bit in some spots, and I was like, okay, well, this might be fun to play with.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, we kind of figured out how to arrange it, I guess.
Yeah, we kind of structured it. I think we did like a verse, chorus,
Yeah.
Breakdown, and then or breakdown or whatever, interlude, whatever you want to call it, and then I think it's verse, chorus again. A pretty standard structure for all the Undertipper songs and all this stuff that I don't get too creative with it usually.
Right.
No, but it's good. I think it turned out pretty good.
Yes.
You'll be able to hear it eventually soon. Though, if this video ever makes it out, we'll have a link down in the description to be able to check out the song wherever that goes. And then, so tell me, like, how did you get started in playing music? It seems like not a lot of people play guitar these days. A lot of it is more electronic and stuff like that. And I think you just started kind of playing guitar again after somewhat of a hiatus, didn't you?
Yeah, basically, like, I don't know. I first started playing, this was probably like 4th or 5th grade-ish maybe, but I think it was my aunt's old acoustic guitar that was like at my grandma's house or whatever, and they just gave it to me, and I would,
Nice.
I don't know, I didn't know what I was doing, but I would just sit there and play it. It must have been fairly annoying because my mom decided to give me lessons.
Well, at least you didn't decide to get rid of it. That was the other option, right?
So I took guitar lessons for a little while, and then I got like an electric, and I don't know, like we were talking, like played just a couple, I guess, like basement bands with friends.
Right. Tell me a little bit about your musical influences. Like, so maybe from like kind of growing up, I know originally I was into a lot of punk rock and I still am, but I've listened to a bazillion things in between there and continue to kind of listen to different genres and stuff. What are some bands or some genres that have influenced the type of stuff that you write?
I don't know. I don't actively think about it, I guess. Like, I don't like write stuff with like anything particularly in mind. Sometimes it just comes out, but I guess it all shows through.
It all seeps through, I
Right?
feel like, in the end.
Yeah. But like growing up, like, I don't know, like a lot of rock. So like a lot of rock, I don't know, adjacent stuff. So like grunge, metal, punk, like of course like Green Day, but then like I got into like more like local or, you know, more, you know, go stretching back, you know, but that was like kind of like a gateway band for me, like alongside like Nirvana, those kinds of things.
I was big into Nirvana as well. I feel like the song Always definitely has a little bit of a grunge feel to it, for sure.
Yeah.
Kind of that like 90s-ish, because grunge was so popular in the 90s, and I was definitely totally into it back in the day.
Yeah.
And still am some. I still love Nirvana. I mean,
Yeah.
that, Nevermind is still a great album. And Bleach before that, and
Yeah.
I really liked all of them. But
And it's just kind of weird because it's not like I actively listen to it all the time or anything like that, but like I spent a good chunk of time, I guess, back in the day. So like, it sticks with you. It's funny. Like there are times where I haven't heard some of those songs for years, and it comes on. It's like,
and you still know all the words. You're like, are these floating around in my head somewhere? I still know all these words.
it's all in there.
It's
yeah.
weird.
But yeah, so like a lot of that stuff, like lately, I don't know, like I go back and try to revisit stuff, I guess, but like I don't know, like new bands, like is it last year? Like I found this band Big Thief I like a lot.
I don't think I've heard of them. I'll check those guys out.
And then something newer this year. They're like mostly instrumental, but Covet.
I've not heard of them either.
I can't remember how I found them, but I kind of like been listening to their new album, and they have some other stuff. But yeah, the way I can't remember her name, but the way she plays, she does like
Fret tapping and stuff.
yeah, it's really pretty cool.
That stuff is so hard. I've tried to do some of it, and I'm just like,
It's very technical. I don't know
It
if
is.
you call it like math, whatever.
math rock.
Yeah, probably that's what it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right on.
But a bunch of other stuff, obviously. But yeah.
I always, I'm always worried about, because I feel like I listen to a metric ton of music, and I know there's definitely times where I write stuff, and then I go into the band, and I'm just like, oh, I got this song, and I'm like, dude, that's just like blah blah blah, or at least the riff anyway. I'm just like,
And then
Dang
another
it.
another one that's kind of weird is like I started like going back and listening to a lot of Dinosaur Jr. because I got that guitar,
mm-hmm.
and then it's actually I'm gonna screw up his name, Jay Massis.
I think yeah.
It's his signature guitar. I didn't really realize that. Like I kind of knew who Dinosaur Jr. was, but just like the one song or two or whatever.
Right, that were on the radios and like.
So I was like, well, maybe I should check out some of the stuff, and then like I don't know, like I listened to that, and it's like, oh man, this is probably influenced all kinds of crap I've listened to.
I've seen some interviews with him, and he has like a mountain of guitars. he's got a whole.
But I started checking out some of the more recent and then like older stuff of that. I don't know. But like there's so many bands. Yeah. There's so much stuff that comes out. Like it's funny, like street music, but like you listen to stuff and like I don't know, like a lot of the newer stuff I love too, it doesn't always stick with me.
I agree. Yeah.
I don't know how to say it, but like like I listen to a lot of stuff, but then like I'm sure it sticks with me, but like the recall.
Exactly.
tough.
And I wonder if it's because.
And I like to listen to like albums, and I struggle with that.
Me too. Me too. And so I'm not like a single guy. I like to like front to back an album.
Yes.
I think some of it has to do with bands being forgettable these days is because there's just so much new stuff all the time.
Well, yeah.
And it's all accessible
Yes.
at any time. Whereas before, like, you had to commit. You had to commit to buying this album. You know, it was like 10 or 13
Oh yeah, I
dollars,
take my
whatever.
lunch allowance. And I would
Save
not,
it all.
I would not eat, or I would to buy CDs and stuff.
Right.
Yeah. But
Yeah, and so like, if you bought an album or a CD, it didn't even matter if you did or didn't like it at the beginning. You were going to listen to it enough until you liked it. I will listen to it until I like it. I did not make a bad decision.
That's right. Well, yeah, you're kind of convinced. So, like, I don't know. I guess I still kind of have that. But, like, yeah, like, there's all kinds of new stuff I listen to that I like. But, like, I have a hard time remembering.
Yeah, it comes in passing. I know some of the bands that I've liked a lot lately are Odd Robot is a band that probably nobody's ever heard of that I think does some really melodic, poppy punk stuff, and then Pup, who some people probably
I have heard of.
They're pretty big, and they're just so good. And I saw them live, and the live show was insane. Everybody in the audience, their fans are so rabid that everybody was singing so loud that you almost could barely hear them. But there are still a lot of, I don't know, some stick with you, but definitely there's a lot that I know I like. And I'm like, oh, this is a great song, but then I forget about it, and then it's lost in the mix. But then sometimes you rediscover them again. And like, I've heard this before.
Yeah. And then a lot of stuff like reminds me of other stuff. I guess just getting older or whatever. But yeah. So like that kind of stuff. And then a lot of metal, but
Metal.
As well. Sprinkled throughout.
The first time you were over at my house, we were playing a Risk game for one of my birthday parties, and I didn't know you played guitar, and you came over, and I had a little like recording rig or whatever, and you played something. I was like, dude, I had no idea, and I was like, yeah, I'm really into punk, and you're like, oh yeah, you're into the Lillingtons?
Yeah, I did.
And I was like, no, I've never heard of them. You're like, what? You've never heard of the Lillingtons? And you gave me that, what is it, Something on Television?
Yeah, I really like that out. Death by Television.
Death by Television, yeah. And dude, you burnt that for me and gave it to me at work, and I listened to that. I listened to it a lot. I was like, oh man, I really like these guys.
Yeah, I do like that album a lot. I don't know. I like poppy stuff, catchy stuff like that.
Yeah. So I mean, it's built that way. So you do.
Yes.
Do you listen to Teenage Bottle Rocket at all ever?
Yes.
Because they have the same.
Yeah. Yep, I have heard Teenage Bottle Rocket as well.
I've seen them live several times, and they're always pretty good live.
Yeah, I've never seen any of them live.
Well, hey, dude. Thanks so much for coming in.
Yeah.
And I think this has been a good chat. And is there anything else that you would like to, any parting words you'd like to say? I heard that you're in a band, but the name is super top secret.
I don't know if it's top
maybe
secret.
Maybe you'll be out at the bars here at some point playing.
That would be awesome. But some good friends of mine, we started a band last year, so we've been working on a lot of original stuff. But yeah,
that's the way to do it.
It's been really cool, and we're digging it. So yeah,
all originals. I love it. All originals.
Yes.
Well, thanks for coming in, Josh. Appreciate it, and we will talk to you guys. Did I just do that? Next time.